everybody? It's Davey from the 80s, and you are now entering the Cinema Chop Shop. So park your ass right there. And while you're there, don't forget to hit the like, the share, and the subscribe button. Also, if you check the description below, you will see a Patreon link. If you click it, you can recommend movies and music for me to review. With that being said, we are back at it again with another review. So today we are looking at a Netflix exclusive mini-series, docu-series, about the Night Stalker called, I think, To Catch a Serial Killer. This whole documentary series is following the murderer by the name of Richard Ramirez, and I believe a 4 or 5 episode miniseries. So let's get into it. First and foremost, before I get into it, a bit of comedic relief. I laughed a lot when they showed the sketch that they did, the police sketch that they did of Richard Ramirez. And I kid you not, my boy looks like Michael Jackson in a Thriller video. Like, seriously, they were like, I seen that guy. The last place I seen him, he was dancing in the cemetery with some zombies. My man looked very Michael Jackson in Thriller. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, comedic relief out of the way, let's talk about it. Number one, this documentary is a very hard watch. For my opinion, I did not know that Richard Ramirez was a child molester or a child rapist. I didn't know that he was a serial rapist. I didn't know that those were things that he did. All right. With that being said, I know that he's a killer. I know that he was responsible for breaking in people's houses, mostly elderly people and women and defenseless people in the middle of the night, and he would shoot them and he would beat them with objects and stab them and things like that. I knew of those things, but I didn't know that he was a child rapist. And in the documentary, they kind of go into why a lot of people don't know. They don't really go into detail about it, but something that was said in the documentary makes you go, oh, that's why you don't know him as this, right? But Richard Ramirez was a fucking child molester. And also, like, me personally, I didn't know that much about Richard Ramirez. Like, I know of him, but I don't know about him. So watching the series unfold and the chase and the quest to try to find him and track him down, that was very interesting to me. From the cops' perspective, learning about the cops and the detectives that were on board on this case, it was very interesting. Their personalities are great, and the hardships and the things that their family went through during this process. It was a very grueling time. It seemed like LA was on the edge, and to just watch this documentary and see all the crazy shit and the amount of murders that he did in the span that he did, it was just like, what the hell? Like, what is this dude's problem? You know? They don't go too much into detail about his background, and I believe that's because they don't want to try to downplay the atrocious acts that he's committed and try to make him look human, because this man is not human. He's a fucking evil being, right? To do some of the things that he did, you know that he was a fucking just maniacal madman, right? While you're watching this series, you learn, like I said, you learn a lot about Richard Ramirez. You learn a lot about the crime scene. Not the crime scene. You learn about the crime team that was involved in it. And also like little tidbits like how they basically set up a team to be in the to be in the dentist's office. And the dentist's office, they ended up dropping the ball because the cops pulled out their team that was there monitoring the dentist's office. And because they pulled the team out, they ended up installing like a bell or something, like a panic button. And it turns out that the stupid panic button didn't even work. So they missed Richard Ramirez. They also missed opportunities when they impounded one of his cars, and it just sat on the lot for months and they weren't allowed access to it. So you just see things like that and how it dampened the evidence and how the media's response to Richard Ramirez dampened the evidence. But then you also see how the media's response helped capture Richard Ramirez, right? If honestly they never would have put that information out there, he probably would have got away, you know, like, so it was good that they did that. The public eye caught him, and shout outs to the fucking whole community that came through and beat his ass and put him on. You get what I'm saying? So that was a really cool aspect of it. I didn't really know that the community came together and whooped his ass like that. They didn't spend too much time post arrest. They talked a little bit briefly about it, but they kind of sped through it. They didn't go into much detail as they did while you're watching the documentary. So when you're watching the documentary, you're seeing all the things that he did, but then once he gets captured, it doesn't really go into too much detail about what happened further or interviews and things like that. It kind of keeps it very simple. If you are into it's a docuseries, and if you're into like things that focus on serial killers, I highly recommend this docuseries because it's very interesting. Like I said, me personally, I didn't know much about Richard Ramirez, but I feel like I know a little bit more. As far as like who he was before he became a killer, they didn't really go into too much detail about that. We just focus on the crimes that he committed, you know? So if you're into docuseries, if you're interested in studying serial killers and the way that they think or the crimes that they committed and things like that, this is definitely something for you to see. And it's on the top 10 on Netflix right now, I believe. So with that being said, if you're into that things, I highly recommend you going to watch it. If it's not up your alley, thank you for watching this video anyway. I appreciate you. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the like button. Go ahead and throw a comment down in the comment section. I love interacting with all you guys. And until next time, you are now exiting the Cinema Chop Shop. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you next time. Adios.